every human being is like a gun. And I say this because the analogy is that we're like a gun, but I'm saying this because every human has emotions. And these emotions sometimes, or emotions are, we take action on our emotions based off things that happen around us, based off from other people, the reactions that we get through our choices and what we do, and it's just bouncing back from what we do, and people may, because everything's based off trust. We trust others to react in a certain way, not so negative, not to fight back to what we say, because we all have our own perspectives. So we understand things from our own perspective and not always understanding things from other people's perspectives. So we're just trusting that they understand our perspectives, or assuming that they will. And the thing is that, someone who basically has zero trust is probably going to carry bullets in their gun, which means they will use those bullets if they feel they need to. Those bullets are basically emotion. They're emotion of anger, stress, anything that has to do or has a result of not trusting someone. So, when you pull a trigger of a gun, no matter what, something's going to happen. Whether there's a bullet in there or not, you're pulling the trigger, it's either going to go off and go tick, or, it might jam, it might, if there's a bullet in there, a bullet will come out no matter what. Now, no matter what, you can't pull a trigger of a gun and expect no bullet to come out, right? If it's loaded, the fire's on, you pull the trigger, a bullet will come out, whether you want it to or not. So the thing is, you have control over pulling people's triggers or not. Everyone's a gun. You have control over pulling their trigger. There's things that will make them tick, and the things that will make them do whatever, react to certain ways that you make choices around them or react to. Now, if they're strong and they trust people and they are completely 100% control over themselves, it could be hard probably to pull their trigger. They've got to be a tough gun, and even when you do pull the trigger, they probably don't carry bullets in their gun, so nothing will happen even if you do pull the trigger. But there's some people that do carry bullets because they don't trust people, and they've probably had a bad experience around other people and them pulling their trigger, and bullets fly and they go off, and you can't blame them for carrying bullets in their gun. People sometimes, they want to be safe. If they have bullets in their gun, they have bullets in their gun, but you have the choices to pull their trigger or not. Where I got this analogy from was the fact of a person being angry. I was thinking, like, you could pull people's triggers, you could push people's buttons, and not everyone has. It's not that they have control over their anger or not. People may push and pull people's triggers and push their buttons to the max, and they will explode and blow up. Their bullets will come out, and those people sometimes say, wow, you can't even control your anger, like blah blah blah. But they don't realize that this anger that doesn't, just because they pulled their trigger was pulled and a bullet came out, doesn't mean that they weren't controlling their anger. That means they probably have trust issues or something with that person. And that's a much more in-depth reason for why that bullet came out. Was there's probably some subconscious trust issue with them or other people that they have, based off the world around them, and maybe even with themselves. And if they don't have full faith on themselves, they won't have full faith in everybody else. So you must trust yourself and must have faith in yourself to have faith and trust in everybody else. And if you have faith and trust in yourself, you probably won't need to carry bullets because you trust yourself. You have faith in yourself. But some people don't have that, and they do carry bullets in their gun. And when people pull their trigger, those bullets will come out no matter what. So just know, guys, when you if you get into a conversation with someone or an argument and they start exploding and be angry, that doesn't mean that they can't control their anger. I don't believe in anger management issues. I believe in emotion. Okay, we all have emotion. Anger comes from an emotion. Anger is not the root. It's not an emotion. It's not a root emotion. it's a result of an emotion. And what I'm saying is anger could be a result of lack of faith, lack of trust. And although because of that lack of faith and lack of trust, their emotions are subconscious. They don't know that they don't trust themselves. Some people don't know that they don't have faith in themselves or other people. They just react. So sometimes their anger is a reaction to the rest of the world and the things that happen and go around us. So if you're in an argument with someone and they explode and they go off or they go angry, I'm sure all of you have gotten angry at some point. All of you gotten angry. I mean, if somebody told you that you can't control your anger and you need anger management, what would you think? What would you say? So don't tell other people that they can't control their anger because their bullets are coming out. It's a much deeper issue. And you have that control to push people's buttons and pull their triggers. If you're doing things that make them angry on purpose, and sometimes you may not know it, but the way you react to the situation as well can affect that person. And you may be pulling their trigger without even knowing, and their bullet can, you may accidentally pull their trigger and a gun bullet will come out, but you can't blame them for a bullet coming out of their gun. I mean, you pull the trigger, whether it was an accident or not. You don't say that they don't have control over their anger. They don't have control over their gun. They can control to put bullets in it or not, but they can't control if somebody else pulls their trigger, and anyone can pull the trigger. They're not pulling the trigger on their own gun because they're just reacting and responding to the world around them from other people's choices. Yes, we all have our own choices. We could only make choices for ourselves, so we can choose to have bullets in there or not. We can choose to take the right steps in order to have faith and trust in ourselves, but some people don't and have lack of faith and lack of trust because of situations and experiences in our past with other people, with other people's choices, with other people's emotions. And, because we're all from the same source and energy and the same existence, we're all one. People can affect other people, and we can either choose and have our choices to make ourselves as an individual and protect us from other people's emotions and everything and negativity. And we could choose to, allow it in, and we could choose to become fully positive and affect others with that positivity or not. We can choose to respond properly to other people, to understand their perspectives, to understand their feelings, so we don't trigger their gun and we don't push their buttons, to the point where it makes them angry and upset. If they're getting angry at the argument, you can respond and just go along with it and say, okay, I understand. Let's just breathe. Let's take a moment. We'll talk later, or whatever it is. And you can choose to do that, or you could choose to fight back and say, no, this is you. Look at blah, blah, blah. You can completely fight the argument. And that's out of ego, and you're completely doing it for yourself. Because you feel good, yelling back and arguing because you feel unheard. You feel whatever that emotion is. You're sensing that emotion, feeling that emotion. And anyways, you just know you have the control to pull other people's triggers. You do have the control and the choice, to pull other people's triggers, to push their buttons, and respond, follow them around, react to the way they do. For example, I have a homeless friend, currently homeless though, and he follows us around. He doesn't have a place to go. So, if we end up hanging out with him, we're stuck with him. We made that choice to hang out with him. But at the end, the end result is he doesn't leave us alone. And we will try to, sometimes we have to run away or get away, just get in our car and drive off. And he'll run after us, make the choice to run after us and hurt his foot. And then he'll blame it on us, call us retards and stuff. Now, we can choose to understand why he's doing that, the reason why he's doing that, the reason why he's frustrated is because he's homeless, because of this, and blah, 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 said all down to the root. Or we can fight back and say, no, well, you drove off, and you just made the choice to run off, and we could push his buttons, pull his triggers, and make him even more angry. We have that choice, but instead we know, our position, we know our situation, we know his situation, and we just go along with it and say, okay, I'm sorry, man, we'll come back, or whatever, later, we'll talk later, or whatever it is. And anyways, that's just an example that, he has his choice, we have our choices, and we can choose to respond and engage in a conversation, or engage in an argument, or disengage and change the way the situation is, an argument. We can at least make our choice to do our own part, and allow others to do their part and make their own choices. And if they're, at the end result is, you got to realize that, we all are guns. We all may have carry bullets in them or not, but we all have a trigger, and we can choose and make other people's triggers go off, whether we know it or not, or we're trying to or not. But to not respond when that trigger does go off, because there's nothing you can do about it. Their bullet may come out or not, but it's no matter what, you pull the trigger, something may happen. And you just got to be careful and know the person that you're dealing with, the person that you're engaging with, to respond properly or not. And that is our choice. That's up to us. We can choose, how we respond and react and deal with other people. And so it's up to us, guys. Just keep that in mind. Keep in mind that, we all are guns. We all have bullets. And, also it's like, another analogy I could use is like a Coca-Cola bottle. You can choose to shake up a Coca-Cola bottle, but no matter what you pull after that cap, after that Coca bottle gets shaked up, Coca-Cola will come out whether you want it or not. So, you shake people up and you trap them in a corner without any place for Coca-Cola to flow through, with any air gap. The only way for them to get out may be anger and explode and then push through. The Coca-Cola will explode out. And, you have the choice to bingle up that Coca-Cola bottle, and you have the choice to pull that gun trigger. So, anyways, guys, keep that in mind. Thanks for watching this video. This is definitely something important to realize and acknowledge and know, because we deal with people every single day. We are people, and we have emotions. Every human has emotions. Keep that in mind. There's a reason for their emotions to go off, and some people just don't know what their emotions are, why they have them. Some people have negative emotions. Sometimes they're subconscious. They don't know it sometimes. And you got to just be aware that, we all have emotions, and you got to keep calm when other people blow up, because we can only make our own choices. They can only make their own choices. And it's our choices to react to the situation, their emotions, and vice versa. So, keep that in mind. And anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this, please give me some support. Like this video. Comment if you have any questions or thoughts. I really do want to hear from you guys. I know I don't have a lot of views yet, but if you can help me get more views, that'd be great. If you really enjoy this video, I'd love if you could share this video. And definitely subscribe if you do enjoy my videos, if you like enjoying these videos, and if you are going to share it, you might as well please subscribe. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in my next video, and more people in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys.